Hello everybody, this is Vasio. I hope you're doing okay. Let's continue with our project, and on this video we're gonna create the user using Firebase, and we're also gonna take the picture from our custom camera view and upload it to Firebase. I hope you guys enjoy. In our previous video we created the camera view controller, and on this video we want to make the camera to take photo. The way we do this, we created this button action that will take the photo for us. We need to convert to the delegate of AV capture photo capture delegate, and right here in take photo we would like to create some settings. Now those settings are not very important on what they do, but they're very important in order to take the photo. So I'm gonna go and create the settings, and I'm gonna go through it and explain. Let settings equals, we want to create AV capture photo settings. So let's go AV capture photo settings, and for those settings we will need a preview pixel type. This preview pixel type is gonna be the image that we're gonna take, and we're gonna pass it inside our settings. So let's go let preview equals settings dot available preview photo pixel format types, and we want to put the first one. This is giving an array, and we want the first one, and we want the preview format, so we'll say let preview format, and that is equal of an array, and the array contains now KCV pixel buffer format type key, write this one, and we want to do this as string, and this will have a preview pixel type. Sorry, this is not an array, I said this is a dictionary, I'm sorry about that. And we want a KCV pixel buffer width key, write this one, and this will have a string as well, and this will have a value of 160, and we want a height for that key, KCV pixel buffer height key as string, and this will have 160 as well. That's our preview format, and very simply we say settings dot preview format, preview photo format equals preview format that we created. And finally we want our session output to capture photo, so we say session output dot capture photo, and we pass the settings right here that we created. Oops, I put too many T's, just notice, like this, and the delegate itself. Now this will go and create the photo, so we will have to say right here and convert one method of the delegate, which is did finish processing photo sample buffer. Did finish processing photo sample buffer is right this one, and this one is the one that's gonna give us the image we want. So by simply saying, let's check if there's any error. If let error equal error, oops, print the error as localized description, and we want to return if there's any error. Now that we know there are no more errors, we can continue. Let's say now I want to make sure, because those are optional, the sample buffers, I want to make sure that they do exist. So I will put them in an if let statement. So let's say if let sample buffer equals photo sample buffer, and let preview buffer equals photo preview buffer, and if those exist, let's say let data image, that's gonna be our image, it's gonna be AV capture photo output write this one, and that's gonna be a JPEG format. Oops, JPEG format data representation, and the sample buffer is our sample buffer because I created it up here, and this is gonna be my preview buffer. I'm gonna paste it right here, and now that I know those exist, my data image is the image that we want. So simply you can store this image as data and represent it anywhere. What we want to do, we want to take this image, and when we are signing up, we want to upload it to our Firebase. When we are logging in, we're gonna take this image that the user just took, and we're gonna verify this image with the one from the database if the person is the same. So what are we gonna do in this case? Since I want to use camera and view controller for both sign up and logging in, I will have to create an enumeration. An enumeration right here, let's say enum, and I will say photo type. And this will be a case of login and case of sign up. Now, with this enumeration, I will have to do two different actions depending on the user activity, and use the same code on all of them except this code right here. It's very simple. So let's go and say, right here, I'm gonna create a variable var that's gonna be photo type, and it's gonna be a type of photo type, and it's gonna exist because I'm gonna be passing this every time that I'm opening this view controller, so I know that this exists. And I'm gonna say if photo type double equal photo type dot sign up, I'll do here upload to Firebase, else if photo type double equals photo type login, I will have to verify the user. Very simple. Now I'm gonna show you in a bit how we're gonna upload and verify the user, but first let's fix this. Now first let's go and register our users by signing up and logging in them. So we will have to go to sign up view controller, and by sign up, when sign up is pressed, we want to do something. And that thing is very simple. We want first to check that he put everything on this field right here, and then register them with Firebase. So let's go import Firebase and import Firebase auth. Like this. Actually, I don't think Firebase auth is needed, but I will include it anyway. And now that we imported Firebase, we can use its methods. I'm gonna need to see that all these three fields exist. So I'm gonna say guard email field dot text not equal empty string, password field dot text not equal to empty string, and password confirm field dot text not equal to empty string, and this will give an else, and this will return. Now what this means, guard and those conditions right here, my view controller will check when the button is pressed. If any of those contain empty string, it's gonna return. If all of them contain strings, then it's gonna pass to the code that we're gonna write right here. Very simple and very useful command. And now let's say if password field dot text double equals to password field confirm text, very easy. That means that our password matches. We want to say fire auth dot create user, and we want to create a user with email. Very simply, we say email field dot text, and we know that this exists because it passed our command. And password field dot text is gonna be our password with a completion. Now double click this one, and you get automatically generated the completion block, and user we put here user and error. And for code, if error not equal to nil, we print our error. Return. We want to return if there's an error, and this exists. And now that we know that there's no error, we can go and present the camera view controller so the user can take a picture and upload it to our Firebase database. So just simply let's say let camera VC to create the view controller of the camera, and this equals a UI storyboard with name and bundle. The name of our storyboard is camera, so just say camera like this, and bundle is nil. And we want to initiate initial view controller and say ask camera view controller. Now, for this not to crash, please make sure that in the camera storyboard, this is your initial view controller. And to do this, you just press right here, and under view controller, you just have to say is initial view controller and tick it. Simple as that. Oops. And we're going to sign up. And now that we created the VC, and we have to say as camera view controller in order to get the properties of camera view controller. And like this, you can say camera VC dot photo type that we created, and I can assign it to dot sign up. That camera photo type is going to be sign up. So when we whatever code we have in camera view controller is going to go under the sign up method. And after that, we want to present it. So simply say self.present view controller, and the view controller we want to present is camera VC, animated true, and we don't want any completion. Very good. Here we want to say else. Now this this password does not match the other password, so you just simply want to present an alert to the user. Let alert equals alert controller, and you want to say title password does not match message. Please put correct password on both fields. And the preferred style is gonna be an alert. Very easy. And now we present this alert by saying present alert and true, and completion we don't want. And we want an action for this one that's gonna be dismissed. So let's say let cancel equals an UI alert action. Title is gonna be cancel, style is gonna be destructive, and handler nil. And here say alert dot add action, and the action is cancel. Very easy. Now that we created this, simply by running our code, if you go to sign up, and here we put everything correct, and by pressing sign up, we're gonna create the user, and we're gonna put it in our Firebase database, and then this is gonna prompt the camera view controller, where it's gonna ask us to take a photo. However, in the simulator it's not gonna work, so we have to use a phone. And here it's not gonna allow you to use anything other than email. So if I go and say like a@a.com, and password I will say QWERTY, and password here QWERTY. I thought I made this security text. Let me see. No, I haven't. Let me secure them. Okay. Anyway, for now, by pressing sign up, I can see my camera view controller appeared. So let's go and check in our Firebase. So right here in my Firebase, if I go to authentication, I can see that my user was created, and I have a user ID. Now that we have the user and we ask him here to take a picture, we simply let's go and take this picture and upload it to Firebase. So I'm gonna close this one and let's open our camera view controller. And right here, let me say sign up. We want to do some stuff. I'm gonna make a bit of space and let's see. First of all, we need to import our Firebase module. So let's go and say import Firebase, and now view.load, we want to make a reference to our storage. So the way we do this, we want to say let storage, which is gonna be a reference to our storage, equals fire storage like this dot storage. That will give us the storage, and now we want to create the reference to our storage. So let's go and say let storage ref equals storage dot reference for URL. And the way you get the URL is by opening your Firebase console. If you go to storage, that's your URL right here. So you just copy this and let's go and paste this. Now we have a reference to our storage, and we also want a reference to our users folder where all the pictures are gonna be. So I'm gonna create it up here because I want to modify it in the whole app, and let's say var users storage reference, and this is a fire storage reference, right, like this. And right here we say user storage reference equals storage reference ref dot child, and the child is gonna be users. That code automatically creates a users folder inside if it doesn't exist, and goes and inserts whatever file we put in there. So let's go right here. I want to get the user ID. I want to get the user ID because it's a unique thing for every user, and I want to name the pictures with the user ID. So I'm gonna say let user ID like this equals. How we get the user ID? Now, since we know that this camera view controller is gonna be either after they signed up or they logged in, so the user will exist for sure, I'm gonna say fire auth.current user. That's how we get the current user, and we also can get their properties. And we say UID. That's gonna give me the ID of the current user. Even when we are creating the user, we automatically signing him in, so that's why our current user exists. And here I'm gonna say let image reference, image ref like this, and our image reference is gonna be users storage ref dot child, and right here I'm gonna put like this. Now it goes inside our user storage ref, which is our users folder, and it's gonna create a new file. And that file, I'm gonna call it, I'm gonna go backwards slash open close brackets, sorry, and I'm gonna press user ID in there, and I'll call it .jpeg like this. Now in our users folder, it creates a JPG file, which is an image file, with the name of our user ID. So we know that there's gonna be only one user ID, so our files are not gonna conflict. Right here, we want to upload something into this, right? And the way we upload, we create a URL session task, but this URL session task is made from Firebase. So you just simply say let upload task equals image ref dot put, and right here we want the upload data because the image we have is a data image and with metadata, and the data here we say is data image that we created, and our metadata is nil. Actually I want the one with completion block, so I'm gonna say put right this one, upload data image, metadata is nil, and a completion, and this is a metadata and error. Very simple. And right here we want to say if error not equal nil, print error, and we want to return. That's all I need. And right here we say upload task resume. That's it. Now it's gonna take our picture and it's gonna upload it to our database. However, we don't want to take any picture and upload it to database. We want to detect the face of the picture and we want then to upload the database. So we don't want, if the picture contains more than 2 faces or any faces at all, we upload it into our database. So we have to call our Microsoft API here. And let's go up right here and import our Microsoft. So just say import project Oxford face, that's our pod, which is created by Microsoft. And like this, we're gonna have reference to the methods. Now, we want to go to the Microsoft API. By going to Cognitive Services of Microsoft, I'm going to include the link down below, you can get started for free and get your subscription key for your Face API. So right here, I'm gonna log in, and you can log in as well, and we can continue. Right now, I just logged in, and it gives me these product names and a description of what I'm getting. So you want to go and tick right this one, Face Preview with that many subscriptions and 20 per minute. So let's go and tick this one. Let's go, I agree, and subscribe. Now that you subscribed, you can have your keys right here. So by pressing show, you can see the key right here. So I'm gonna copy this. Don't try to use this one because I'm gonna regenerate it and it's not gonna work with you. So copy this one. And right here in our code, let's go and create our client. So let's say let client equals, and we want to say MPO face service client, and with a subscription key. And this subscription key is right this one that we copied, and this gonna exist. Now that I have a reference at my client, I can go and use their API. Now I want to store the data image somewhere because I will need to detect the face with that data image. Let's go and create this one up here in our other reference, var person image, and this is gonna be an UI image. And here we want to say self.personImage equals a UI image made with data, and the data is the data image. And we want to say right here let data, and we want to use UI image JPEG representation in order to detect the face from that image. So let's say UI image JPEG representation, and the image is self.personImage with compression quality 0.8 is gonna be fine. Now that we have everything that we want, we can say client.detect, and we want to detect with data and return face. So the data is gonna be data, this data rate that we created. Return face ID we want to say true, and return face landmarks false. I'm not gonna need those. Actually, I will need those. True. Return face attributes, I'm gonna put it empty, and a completion block, which we're gonna press enter. And what this gives me, it gives me an array of MPO face, which means an array of faces on that image. So I'm gonna say faces and an error. And as always, we want to say if error not equal to nil, print error, and we return. And right here that we know that everything passed. As I said, we want to upload an image that has only one face. So let's go and say if open and close brackets and say faces dot count that exist is bigger than 1, or faces equals nil, that means we have an error and we want to print too many or not at all faces, and we want to return because we want only one face. And let's go and correct this one. I just need to delete this one. Okay, and now that we passed through this, that means that our image has only one face. Then we want to go and upload our image. So I'm gonna get this code and I'm gonna insert it right here. And then we are uploading the image after we detect the faces. What we want to do is we want to stop our camera from working, right? So I'm gonna say capture session dot stop running, and we also want to remove the preview layer from our view. So preview layer dot remove from super layer. And since everything passed, we want to continue to our logged in screen. What we will want to do is in our main, in this screen right here, we want to give it an identifier. So if you go to identity inspector and storyboard ID, I'm gonna say logged like this. And a camera view controller back. Right here we want to create let VC stands for view controller equals UI storyboard. And this storyboard is called main. Oops, name. Sorry. Main and bundle nil. And we want to initiate view controller with identifier, and the identifier is logged. And we want to say self.present view controller VC animated true completion null. Okay, very simple. Now let's go and run this. I'm gonna run on my device, so I will make a video right there to see how it works. So we can see our app runs. Now I'm going to sign up, and I wanna say p@p.com. Password I'm gonna put QWERTY. Here QWERTY. I'm going to sign up. My camera view controller comes up, asks for access. I say okay. My camera comes. I take a picture. The picture was taken, and I went to my logged in screen. Now let's go and see how it's in our Firebase. Is the picture actually stored? Now back to our project. Opening the console Firebase, let's go and see our storage. Now here I had the storage open, and I'm gonna refresh. And I can see it created a users folder for me, like I said it's gonna do in the code. And by opening users folder, I can see that there is a file. And let's go and open this file. And right here you can see file location, and it gives me a download URL. Now I'm gonna copy this link, and let's go and download the image, and this is it. So it detected our face, and that's why it passed and created the user. Now you see I made here as an optional. Now I don't want that, so what I have to do is just simply say exclamation mark right here in order to give me just a normal user ID. Now what left to do is right here, when we're logging in, we want to download this image and verify it with the one that we just took. But since we are out of time, I'm gonna continue this in the next video. That is it for today, guys. I showed you how to detect a face from an image and how to upload to Firebase. Now in the next video, we're gonna ask the user to take another image when they're logging in and download the image that we just uploaded, and we're gonna verify those two people and see if they are the same. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked, don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe for more videos like this. And here you can also check my previous videos. See you in the next video.